What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about what's the deal with the Michonne show. Spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead. So for those who don't know, at Comic-Con last weekend, we found out that we're getting a Rick and Michonne show. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of things going around that Rick and Michonne have to show up in the season 11 finale, that we're going to get multiple seasons of this show. But let's talk about what we actually know. Rick and Michonne, Denai Guerrera, who plays Michonne, and Andy Lincoln, who plays Rick Grimes, showed up at Comic-Con, which was great and much needed for the Walking Dead universe. We got to see these two beloved characters come back around again, and it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for this. I know the movies aren't happening. The show is happening in replace of the movies, but let's look at what comicbook.com wrote. An article. We owe you the end. The conclusion of this story of Rick and Michonne, Denai Guerrera said on stage with Andrew Lincoln at San Diego Comic-Con, where the Walking Dead duo announced they will reunite in a Rick Grimes and Michonne spin-off series for AMC, the as-yet untitled series, which will replace the long-in-the-works Walking Dead movie trilogy that was announced in 2018. Wow. Will begin with 6 episodes in 2023. Lincoln and Guerrera are executive producers of the Rick Michonne spin-off series alongside AMC's Walking Dead Universe Chief Content Officer Scott Gimple, who will serve as showrunner. The Walking Dead stars have been actively involved in conceiving their creative and a continuation of their characters, story AMC confirmed in a release. The network also included the logline, "Who they were is dead. The only people who can bring them back are each other. I personally can't wait to get my cowboy boots back on and get the band back together," Lincoln told the Comic-Con crowd. Added Guerrera, he has to find his woman first because I have them. The boots, that is. Or you have to find me. Lincoln countered. Guerrera replied, "That's true. We have to find each other." Yeah, you do. And we need to have the Rick Judith reunion. Daryl, Carol, everybody coming back together. But it was awesome. You could actually watch the clip on YouTube. It's like about 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes, that you see Andy Lincoln and Denai Guerrera come out. Gimple's on stage, Harvick's on stage, and they talk about it a little bit, basically saying everything that was in the article, which is kind of cool to see. A gravely injured Rick disappeared during the Walking Dead Season 9 episode What Comes After, where Ann/Jadis, played by Pollyanna McIntosh, shuttled him away aboard a CRM helicopter, believed dead by his friends and family for 6 years. 6 years! Michonne found evidence Rick survived in Season 10, setting off to find him and bring him home to the children, Judith Grimes and Rick Jr. Lincoln and Guerrera spinoff is described by AMC as an epic love story of two characters changed by a changed world. Reads the official synopsis. Kept apart by distance, by an unstoppable power, by the ghost of who they were, Rick and Michonne are thrown into another world, built on a war against the dead and ultimately a war against the living. Can they find each other and who they were in a place and situation unlike they've ever known before? Are they enemies, lovers, victims, victors without each other? Are they even alive? Or will they find that they too are the Walking Dead? We are the Walking Dead. So yes, we know that Rick went away with Jadis. So I would assume that Jadis will come back around. That just makes sense, right? And I wonder if these 6 episodes, and potentially more, are in place of the movies, because it's about the same exact thing. Or is it a different script? Is it going to be different entirely? Like, is Rick and I doubt Michonne's going to find Rick in the first episode, which will be great. But again, we only have 6 episodes, so it has to happen pretty quickly. It's just a lot of questions that we don't know, but per the TWD Universe spoilers, they wrote this. It's happening. Andrew Lincoln will remain in the U.S., this was after Comic-Con, for the next 3 weeks, first in Los Angeles and then Atlanta. Andrew Lincoln News. So are they going to start filming? I doubt it if it's just 3 weeks. It's pretty short-lived, maybe to get their ducks in a row and to find out what's going on, because it's going to take longer than 3 weeks to film 6 episodes. But the last time we saw Rick, he was with Jadis. And we saw Jadis in The World Beyond, so Jadis makes sense to show up in the movies. Rick was taken away to parts unknown, but I think it was Philadelphia, or at least the Northeast. The helicopter flew away, and in the teaser trailer, it was, a skyline of a city that I thought was Philadelphia. Now we see that Jadis was in The World Beyond. She even kind of mentions Rick. Like, they don't like to say this guy's name. Morgan didn't do it, Jadis didn't really do it. But the last time we saw Jadis, she was here with Silas. Now, will she be in the show? It makes sense. Will World Beyond people be in the show? That makes sense also. And I hope we get reunions, connections, callbacks, etc. And I hope it's great. Now, also information that Pollyanna McIntosh was scheduled to appear at GeekCon in Shreveport, I guess, Louisiana, August 19th through the 21st. But she canceled that because she can't do that now. So it's canceled, and the reason was working on a new project. So is that the Rick and Michonne show? Possibly. I think so. It fits. And it would make sense, and I think Jadis will show up there too, in the Michonne show. But let's talk about Michonne, because we know Rick was taken by the CRM, so CRM has to show up in that show, unless he got away somehow, which would make sense in my opinion. But Michonne came across a bunch of people, a group of people, well, 2 people from that group, and we assume she joined the group. And the big thing is that she found the phone with the etching on there. That is herself and Judith. That's not Carl, that's Judith. And we have a theory that the etching was done by Jadis and whatever she's going by. That she's on the boat and she sails, the cruiser, whatever you want to call this, she sails to the northeast, and the last documented port or documented anything was New Jersey. So is that where they went? It's hard to say where actually Michonne landed because it wasn't really shown to us. But again, she came across this big group of people. And some people were hoping that it was the people from Fear the Walking Dead or the people from World Beyond, or it's most likely a new group. But is that going to be scrapped? Michonne has the boots. That's what she references in the conversation with Rick on the Comic-Con stage. And they were building stuff up, teasing stuff that Michonne is going to go find Rick, and she was connected with Virgil, but are we going to see Virgil again in season 11? Not really sure. But the fact that Michonne basically has her own army, if they take her in, which they would most likely, because Michonne's going to need this group to fight the CRM to get to Rick. Michonne is a badass, but she's not going to be able to take out a whole army. And we need this reunion. So 6 episodes is what they said on AMC Plus, is what Andrew Lincoln said. I'm sure it's going to be on AMC as well. But when are they going to find each other? Is it going to be multiple seasons? We don't know. There's got a lot of people saying a lot of crazy stuff online, but we just don't know. We do know that Rick and Michonne are going to have their own show. It's in place of the movies. It's going to be out in 2023. They could possibly start filming next month. I would assume it's going to take 3 months. And yeah, I'm excited for it. So it may be airing in a year from now. It would make sense that it airs in August, or if they push it back to October, that could be the fall show for the Walking Dead universe. But that's the deal right now, guys. There's a lot of people saying a lot of crazy things online about the show, especially connected with season 11, the final part. Will they show up? Will this guy show up? I don't think it fits. I think at best we have a post-credit scene. I think that works the best for the future of things. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Stay safe. And as always, tell them Daryl.
Yo, we love you.